how do you cope with extremely hectic schedules and strengthen your marriage at the same time?
Coping with extremely hectic schedules. You know, we have a very busy life, and Karen's very domestically centered, but she does work marriage today, and she does a lot. But you have to make your marriage a priority, and you have to say no. You just can't have it all. And let me say something about stress. First of all, our bodies are not designed to operate under stress. Over half of all doctor's office visits are stress-related illnesses. God just didn't design us to operate that way. We can't function under all that stress. Our society is being devastated by stress. So number one, love is, when you're coming home and you're stressed out and you don't have time and energy for each other, those are the commodities of marriage, is emotion and time. And so you've got to downsize. You've got to say no. It may be that one person has to lay down their career. And you say, well, my gosh, we couldn't live in as big a house. Okay, don't live in as big a house. But the question is not how big your house is. The question is, how much in love are the people in that house? And what's the quality of life of the people in those homes? There's a lot of big houses and fancy cars with a lot of miserable people in them. And so if you can live in that house and drive that car and be in love and sustain that relationship, that's great. But our society is obsessed with externals. We really are. And a lot of times we're going and going and going and doing and doing and doing to bring money home to a bunch of miserable people who are burnt out and stressed out. And so downsize. And I'm not just saying your schedule, I'm saying your life. Just do whatever you have to do to get yourself into a position where you have the time to love each other. Let me quantify this. I believe every couple needs to have 5 nights at home together. Now, if you have young children, I know they may have games and they may have something like that going on. You need nights at home with a normal lifestyle. Karen and I mean, we have a routine in our lives and we just have nights at home. I say no. I mean, we're busy people, but then you need to have a date night. You need to have certain times that you pray together, that you talk, and those are inviolable. This isn't the last thing we do if we have time. This is the first thing we do, and everybody else is going to have to respect it. These things are in the front seat. Everything else goes in the back seat. We don't fill the front seat up and see what's left for us. And so, talking about hectic schedules, how do you cope with extremely hectic schedules and strengthen your marriage at the same time? Get your schedule less hectic. Deal with the demands of your schedule as well as you can and make your marriage first. You have to do it because you just can't function long term under stress without enough time to work. And something's got to give.
Well, I was thinking, you said something about people who are working and earning the money, but there's people that are stressed out and have a hectic schedule, and it's not about the money. It's about, honestly, they're just wanting to help other people. It's like I think about people in the ministry, like pastors and counselors, people that are there specifically to help someone else who has problems. And that can get stressful. I mean, because you're like, I don't want to say no to them because I know they have great needs. And then you get wrapped up and before you know it, your schedule is consumed with everybody else's problems. And then, you're depleted. And I can always tell when Jimmy and I have gotten depleted because physically it starts showing up. And then when it's physical, then we get the snippy, snappy, you start biting at each other. And, it's a good time to start looking for warning signs is when you're getting that, snippiness. And you can't blame it on PMS. Sometimes it's just because...
I don't know about that.
Sometimes it's just because we've just been, going too much, too fast.
Yeah.
And we have nothing else to give. And if you're always with each other, you're with your spouse, you're going to turn to them, you're going to expect them to be giving, and they can't because, anyway.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. You just can't give yourself away, your emotional energy, your time, and all of that. In other words, if we say marriage is first, it has to be first in real terms. When I gave up the game of golf, it's because I worked and I golfed, and when I came home, we didn't have time and I didn't have any energy. But I wanted her to meet I came home to refuel so I could go back out and do what I was doing. That's backwards. We go outside of our home to provide for our family. We go out there, and once we've provided for our family's the main thing. I'm not coming home to refuel, I'm going out there to refuel. And when I come back home, this is where my heart is. This is where my focus is. These people aren't just there to sustain me going back out. I'm going out there to sustain coming back in. And so it's the perspective that you have, but marriage has to be first. It just won't work any other way.
Thank you for joining us. Experience the life-changing series, The Indestructible Marriage, on CD or DVD. Marriage Today's latest book, Lifelong Love Affair, is an essential tool couples can turn to again and again for inspiration and strength. Order your copy today. Follow your interests and get social by connecting with Jimmy and Karen and the Ministry of Marriage Today on Twitter. Become a rock-solid partner today and equip yourself with the tools you need for a successful marriage. $14, $28, or $56 per month. Choose the partnership level that's right for you. Become a rock-solid partner today.